They say when you die, you see a bright light, a tunnel guiding you to peace. But what if you go the wrong way? What if instead of heaven, you wake up somewhere else? Meet Eric Lawson, a man who died for 3 minutes. But what he saw in those 3 minutes will haunt him for the rest of his life. Eric Lawson was the kind of man who never thought about death. At 39, he was a father, a husband, and an overworked businessman in Manchester. His world was deadlines, meetings, and sleepless nights fueled by coffee and stress. Until the night his heart stopped. It happened without warning. A crushing pain in his chest, a gasp, a stumble, and then darkness. For a moment there was nothing. No pain, no sound. Just empty, endless void. Then, a flicker of light. Eric felt himself floating, weightless, as the light grew brighter, forming a tunnel ahead of him. It was warm, inviting, pulling him forward like a gentle tide. But then, something pulled him back, hard. The light vanished, swallowed by the void. And suddenly he was falling. Wind roared in his ears. Shadows rushed past him, shapes that weren't human, whispering in a language he didn't understand. The air turned thick, suffocating, burning his skin like fire and ice at the same time. And then, he hit the ground. It wasn't Earth. He stood in a vast, blackened wasteland, the sky a churning mass of red and black, filled with distant screams. The ground beneath him was ash, crumbling beneath his feet. A river ran through the distance, not of water, but of something thick, dark, and moving. Then he heard them. He heard. The figures emerged from the shadows, tall, faceless things with elongated limbs and hollow eyes, crawling toward him on all fours. Their movements were jerky, unnatural, their bodies twitching as if they were held together by invisible strings. One of them spoke, but it wasn't a voice. It was inside his head, a scratchy, broken whisper that made his bones ache. You were not meant to be here. Eric's breath hitched. He tried to step back, but the ground shifted beneath him, dragging him closer to the creatures. You belong to us now. The tallest one reached for him, its fingers stretching unnaturally long, its touch like ice burrowing into his soul. He screamed, trying to break free, but the thing held him tighter, pulling him into the dark. And then... beep! A shock jolted through him. Pain. Cold air rushed into his lungs. He gasped, his eyes snapping open to blinding hospital lights. A doctor was shouting, his wife was sobbing, clutching his hand. He was alive. But something was wrong. The room was too cold. The light seemed dimmer. And in the far corner, where the shadows stretched unnaturally long, something was standing there, watching, waiting. Eric blinked. It was gone. But deep down, he knew the truth. He had gone the wrong way, and they had let him go, for now. Was Eric's experience a dying brain's final illusion, or had he truly stepped somewhere he was never meant to go? People who survive near-death experiences always talk about the light. But what if, sometimes, the light doesn't come for you? And what if, one day, the darkness comes back instead?